We call to order the Winterville Planning and Zoning meeting for June 17, 2024 to order. Welcome to all of our board members and to our audience. Yes, the first item we have on the agenda is excused absences. I have Peggy Clybourne, James Jones, and Henry Hofstetter asking for excused absences. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to accept the excused absences.
Been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor use your voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, likewise use aye. All right, approval of the agenda. We've had a chance to review the agenda and accompanying information that was sent out by staff previously a week ago. Pleasure of the board.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, new business, staff.
Good evening, Planning and Zoning Board. Compared to last month's long and confusing meeting, this one should be fairly quick and easy. Today we just have one item for tonight's review. And this is a preliminary plat for a subdivision called Quail Trace. The applicant of Quail Trace is Garden Street Community Southeast, as well as Stocks Engineering. This is located on Reedy Branch Road on the opposite side of Copper Creek and Summer Winds. You actually looked at or reviewed the rezoning proposal, I think it was late last year. This is a 34.72 acre site that was zoned R10 conditional district. The only conditions on this neighborhood is that all external materials must consist of hardy plank, stone, or brick. This was ultimately approved by Town Council in January of this year. This proposal is for 85 single-family detached lots. Average lot size is 11,217 square foot per lot. There's also an additional, as we'll see in a few minutes, a 15,241 square foot common area slash play area in this neighborhood as well. There are going to be two forms of ingress and egress off of Reedy Branch Road for both of them, and two stub streets to the northern parcel, which is designated as urban neighborhood per the comprehensive land use plan and future land use plan. This is the parcel that we are discussing tonight. Again, around November, December of last year, we reviewed the R10 zoning proposal for this site. This is the layout of the subdivision itself. Again, you have two stub streets to the north, nothing to the south because there's already existing just single family and environmental ditches to the south. You have two direct accesses, ingress and egress, onto Reedy Branch Road opposite of Copper Creek Drive and Sunrise Drive. You do have some wetlands to the northeasternmost portion of this site that is going to remain undeveloped for environmental reasons. Winterville's Technical Review Committee has reviewed this preliminary plat. After revisions were completed, the preliminary plat that is presented tonight meets all standards and ordinances of the town of Winterville. Therefore, Winterville Town staff does recommend approval of Quail Trace preliminary plat subdivision. Does anybody have any questions?
Stephen,
Yes, sir.
could you please just go back to the map and show them the common area?
Absolutely, yes, sir. So the common area, let me see if you can see my. All right, there is a corner right here, a little over 15,000 square foot. That's where they are proposing a play area, common area. That's also where the mail kiosks will be with some parking as well.
That's the responsibility of the homeowners association.
It will. It'll be fully responsibility of the homeowners association. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll, does anybody have any other questions for staff? And we do have, Green Street, Garden Street, sorry, Garden Street communities here as well, if you have any questions for them. This is Zach.
Zach, I have a question. This is.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't really infringe upon any, approvals or anything. Are there any trees involved with your home division? Are you putting trees on the lot?
Yes, sir, that's our plan. Whenever we spoke with council back in, I believe it was January, February timeframe, we said that we wanted to promote beautification, especially along the Winterville Parkway. And then we're also gonna put some trees along Reedy Branch Road. Typically, what we like to approve, and this will probably come up later on in the planning process, is including street trees. So typically 1 to 2 per lot. And I'd imagine it'd be outside of the right of way, but pretty close to, that way it's not infringing on DOT or the town or anything like that. It's truly the burden of the homeowners and the HOA.
And also, it's hard for me to see on this map, but
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sure it's sidewalk on one side of each street.
This is,
Minimum?
I'm sorry, say again?
It's a minimum of a sidewalk on one side?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There is a sidewalk. I don't want to touch anything, being that it's not my computer. But yes, sir, there, if you look, it's on the left side of each of those cul-de-sacs, the stub outs, excuse me, it's on the left side of the leftmost cul-de-sac stub out to the north. It's on the right side of the second one. And then, it's on the northern side of the entry road to the south. It stays on that upper side.
It's the darkened line, and that's the darkened.
Yes, sir. Here you go. Here,
Thank you.
stays along that side, and it runs up here, next there, and back to here, across, back to the cul-de-sac, and then back on this stub out.
Another thought just came to me. As you cross the street from the sidewalk, will there be any crosswalks?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There'll be handicap crosswalks.
Or will they be marked on the street?
Typically, we don't mark them. I don't know if that's
Not required.
required. Typically, we don't. So I don't believe there's any plans to. What's standard for us is only if it's like an entry road. Like if there was a common sidewalk running along the entrance, we would put it there for folks pulling off of the DOT maintained main road.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You point out the sidewalks, and I was looking at the opposite, lighter area. Are sidewalks not typically included in the cul-de-sac? If I look at what's shaded,
So these are the cul-de-sacs. Are you talking about to the north?
I actually was glancing at the one.
This one here?
You know, if that's Parkway side, back one? Back
This one.
Yes.
The sidewalk terminates here, so the thought is there's so much congestion there with driveways. It's pretty tough to sidewalk driveway. So I think the thought here is that the handicap ramp would empty out into the cul-de-sac, and then you'd have quite a few driveways right there.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
I'll piggyback off of the sidewalk.
Yes, sir.
Starting off. The cul-de-sacs going to the north, do those go straight up into the edge of the property to kind of help with the understanding that there will be further development to the north? Or is it just going to end in the?
Steve, I'm going to ask for Steven's help because I know that there was a lot of back and forth about this in the request from staff.
Yeah, so these two right here are technically temporary turnarounds so that ultimately it will be just a straight shot. So it is taking it to the edge of to the boundary for future connections.
So how will that be communicated to the new residents for homes in that area. Because typically when we see these things a couple years down the road, they're like, no, we didn't buy it this way. Or weren't expecting it to
Does the
connect.
paving go up to the lot line or not?
It may not go exactly to the edge of the property, but it's pretty darn close so that the future developers will be required to tie into them. And
Well,
the town does not inform residents of when new people come in to purchase their homes. I don't know if that's a.
Yeah, so to answer your question, it doesn't go all the way to the edge due to the fact that we would need temporary construction easements from that northernmost landowner that adjoins. So we take it as far as we can without infringing on their property, having to put equipment onto their property. But, I mean, it'll be noted to the homeowners. They will be informed of the future plans.
My next question is about lot 1. Is that intended to be a buildable lot, or is that just for the sign?
Is that here?
Yeah,
This
right,
one?
that
So-
one. It's an odd-shaped lot.
Yeah, so our entry monument will be right there,
Okay.
just at the corner. And then, yes, it will be a buildable lot.
Okay. And then my final question is about it looks like there was a trench or culvert around lots 42, 43.
Give me some direction on.
So move your mouse up a little bit and to the right. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Somewhere around there. Is that an existing, like, dry stream bed?
There was a ditch that was
Okay.
there, and however, it's non-jurisdictional.
Okay.
So there's no issues with the impacts.
So was there any water flow
No.
along that ditch?
No, it was dry.
Okay.
The only wet was back here in the corner, which, if you recall, our previous plan that we brought forth back at the beginning of the year had some lots back here. I think we had something like 93 or 95 lots, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on the exact number. But obviously, we had to pull that in, and the only wetlands are here in that back corner.
And then back by that ditch, I think it's lot 42, go up. That lot and the one to the right of it, there's like a little gap. Is that an easement, or is that just a way for people to get into the area behind those houses?
It'll probably be an access easement. I know that there's some talk about just accessing that open space back there for maintenance. That will be transferred to the HOA, and it'll be their responsibility to mow, because we don't want, unsightly grass or anything back there outside of the wetlands. Obviously, we can't go into the wetlands. Yes, sir.
May I go back to what Don was talking about, the two northern cul-de-sacs,
Yes, sir.
those turnarounds are still confusing me. I'm sure there are gonna be curbs there, and they're gonna infringe on at least one or two lots. Now, when that opens up to the next road, when it's developed, are those curbs gonna be removed, soil put in, and
No, sir, it'll maintain the bulb shape. And this is a discussion that we had with staff, because we initially proposed straight roads, just going up for that purpose. The confusion that's caused with the curb lines. But I believe, and Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong, that the agreement was that we maintain that bulb shape if and when the development to the north comes.
Yeah, this is one of those kind of unfortunate design, kind of issues where you have to create that future. Right, you've got to have a turnaround, and then you have to create the future connection as well. So, it's kind of funny you ask about that. What we call it, an eyebrow cul-de-sac is what we typically call it. So actually, Summer Winds, if you drive through there, has eyebrow cul-de-sac. So does Denali. And what that is just like you're talking about. At the end of the day, once this thing is continued north, there is going to be some type of half of a cul-de-sac as you go north. That could be corrected in the future. Who knows, however many years down the line they need to redo the asphalt on this, or it could remain just again, what we call an eyebrow cul-de-sac.
Do those cul-de-sacs then have to still meet the requirements for
Fire, they do, yes, sir.
And that's the purpose for the
Okay.
fire.
Is this all gonna be done in one phase, or is this gonna be multiple phases?
Yes, sir, it'll be one phase. Thank you.
Any other question from the board for the developers or for staff?
Is there a builder in line, or are you guys the builder?
We haven't selected a client yet. Obviously, we don't want to put the cart before the horse. So we'll cross that bridge whenever we get there.
Okay. What is the pleasure of the board regarding the preliminary plat?
Thank you all.
Will Trace?
Make a motion to accept the recommendation for the preliminary plat proposal.
Second that.
Been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign of aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Staff report.
All right, board, I do not have much tonight. I will say that this current month, we took to the board those who were expiring, their terms that were expiring. Ms. Darlene Gardner, Mr. Doug Killian, Mr. Gregory Monroe, and Mr. Mike Weldon was reappointed. Mr. Anthony Bell will be coming on to the board next month, replacing Miss Peggy Clybourne. Miss Peggy Clybourne did ask me to read a statement tonight for you all. She said, as she rounds out her 18th year on the Planning and Zoning Board, I would like to leave with good wishes for all members and, of course, Stephen and Don. I'm confident that each and every one of you is committed to making wise and fair decisions on behalf of the people and for the overall betterment of our town. Good luck, Peggy Clybourne. Thank you all for coming tonight. I hope you all have a great summer and month. And if y'all ever need anything, certainly give me a call.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
The town council doesn't meet in July. Do you have any plans for us?
We do not take off July.
See what comes down.
Yes, sir. But as of right this second, I can't. It's hard to know this far in advance if a project is going to make for the next month. I do not have something that I know will be ready for next month, but I'll certainly stay in touch. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments from board members? There being none, we'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor, use your voting sign of aye.
All right.
All right, this meeting stands adjourned.
Great job over there.
Nice to meet you.